Yo, is going to be my first media segment. Uh, I'm kind of recording this before I even get a media, so this is like, I don't know, cause I'm anyway. This is going to be one of my first media segments. I don't know if I'm gonna do this one first, but it's gonna be. This is my guess on how salaries are calculated. As you all know, the league implemented a salary cap for season 4, and the amount that somebody costs also tells us their their like tiers or grade or overall. Like if you're a S plus, you're 18, S normal, you're 17, etc., etc. But there are people who are confused or unsatisfied with their cost, and other people who don't think that other people should cost that high. Like let's take Ranye for example. He's telling his coach that he's over the cap, and he's saying that they got these bums at expensive prices. He's basically saying that there are people who he would like to have on their squad, not ideally, but they'll do, but they're just too expensive for him to afford. That's what he thinks. And even Fear into Hearts, who is a two-time Rug Ball MVP, or no, not Rug Ball MVP, Rug Ball wide receiver, or I don't know if it was 2 rings or 1 ring, but he's made it to the Rug Bowl at least 2 times. He thinks he's too overpriced. Now let's look at where Caden says that the salary prices are agreed upon with the entire executive board. This statement led me to believe that the way that players' salaries are determined is mainly subjective, but there has to be some kind of basis. For a moment, I just want to look at the record holders who are also on the high end of the salary. So we see Caden here. Caden, Gramps, and Julian, they're all rated. I mean, they all cost 18. Rishi and Crew 17, 16. Me and Soccer 14 and 14. The reason why I'm focusing on us is because I wanted to find a common ground for the people who are closely rated, and I know that the stretch between Ryan and 1A is close. They're all 15, but I'll get to why I didn't include them in a second. So the common ground for me in soccer is that we have 3 rings. Okay, the common ground for Caden and Gramps is that they have a lot of awards. They're tied for the most awards. Caden has the most accolades in the league. So we can see that players with the highest awards, or like with higher stuff, like holding records, we can see that they have more salary, like they have higher salaries. But what about Randy or Jay or 1A? 1A just has a captain of the year. Jay doesn't even have any accolades. So how is he rated above me? I have 3 rings and 2 All-Stars. Soccer has 3 rings and no All-Stars. So how am I rated the same as Soccer? How is Jay rated higher than me when he has no accomplishments in SSR? So that's when it hit me. It's your performance, not mainly your accolades. Your accolades play a part, but it's your performance too. And it's not just your performance in SSR, it's your performance in previous leagues. This league's executive board consists of people who have been around to play rug ball since Dux Pioro. And they're also players, so they get to experience most of these players' performances. Let's take a look at Tusk, who just came in the league not too long ago, and he's never played a game of SSR rug ball. He's rated, not rated, sorry, he costs 11. He's on the same level as BP, Michael, Insa who's a two-time rug ball. I'm not sure if he won the two rings, but he definitely won one ring. Knuckle, who's an all-star. Ray, who I think is an all-star as well. Muffins, who's an all-star, and Taj and K King. Tusk is above these people, and he hasn't played one game of SSR rug ball. So even with this fact that he's rated higher than them and he's never played a game of SSR rug ball, there are many who wouldn't completely disagree with where he's costing right now. So his $11 that he costs isn't actually attributed to his SSR performances. They were actually based on his past performances, which leads me to believe that salary is also based on your performances in other leagues before SSR as well. So if you were to complain about Tusk's salary, it would be that not that it's unfair, but that it's outdated because we are living in the past now. Let's take a look at the 10s. Okay? K King, Taj, Nox, Noob, Crossover King, I won't say everybody, but I can't say I see like a similarity between these people. Denim, who more than likely has played all three seasons, he's rated the same as Eli, who hasn't played for years. Then Nox and Noob cost the same as Taj. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong, but Taj is not a 10. Taj is not costing 10. There's no way. Taj is not costing 10. That doesn't make sense. They're not rated. Taj's career, like number one, she's a playoff PG who can also play wide receiver. She's a playoff PG and wide receiver. Number two, she's led her team to the playoffs many times at wide receiver too. And then her team, maybe they may not have won as much as Nox or Noob, but if we look at Taj's individual performances all time, Taj's career is definitely better than Noob's and Nox's. So previous performances in leagues isn't the only sole factor. That's when I realized deterioration. Let's look at the 10s again. The difference between Nox and Taj is that Nox is on a rise. Nox, I'm not sure if it's 2 rug bowls or 1 rug bowl, but he is a rug bowl wide receiver now, and he has a ring. His stock is increasing, and Taj has been docile for 3 seasons, about to be a 4th, but she's been active in the league, so she's slowly deteriorating while Nox is on the rise. We can see that Taj hasn't done much for her stock to be increasing, for her salary to be increasing, but Nox has been making the rug bowl. He's been getting, I don't even know, I'm not sure if he has an all-star or not, but he definitely has a ring, and he was a factor at wide receiver. Same thing for Eli, same thing for Noob, same thing for K King. These guys are people who have their careers in the past were good. Like in the past, they wouldn't be considered a 10. They would probably be up there at like 12, 13, 14. But they haven't done much lately. So deterioration is also a factor. And I'm going to come back to this in a literal second. So far we have accolades, performances, and potential that plays a factor into how salaries are calculated. Let's look at the lower end of the salaries and the higher end. Let's compare the two. So we see familiar names at the lower end. We see Lily, we see Feed, we see JB Hazard, we see dual wielding, but But there are some of these people like JB Hazard and Feed who are known for being bad. Okay, they're known for being bad. So I think that there is a rookie and a veteran criteria. So if we go back to the tens, we see that Knox is a rookie. He's an upcoming rookie, or I wouldn't say a rookie, but he's a fairly new person. You didn't see him around in the old Duck. So he's fairly new and he's rising. Same for Crossover King. Maybe same for Zachary too. And Razzer, I'm not sure who Raz is. I'm not too familiar with that name, but maybe it's him too. But people like Denim, Eli, Noob, Taj, 32, they are veterans. So they're getting veteran criteria. And to compete with veterans, you have to be just as good as somebody who is rated 18, somebody who has the most awards, or somebody who has the most rings, or somebody who has the highest single season assists per game. You have to compete with them as a veteran. But as a rookie, you're not competing for that. As a rookie, you're looking to better yourself, which is why Knox is at 10 and so is Taj. You know, there are people like Sway who are rated a 9, just under 10. Cause Sway is a veteran, but we know that Sway also plays a lot. He's between veteran and rookie, and he doesn't really get much play, but we know that he's not bad, but he's not good. So there's a middle ground. So he's just under 10. So my conclusion for that is that experience experience is a huge factor, or maybe not as huge as I think, but the experience difference between somebody like Taj and then somebody like, I don't know, Mystics, who's rated a 5. The experience gap is tremendous. Like, it would take years for Mystic to even like just try and step to where Taj was at her peak. So the experience difference is huge. So you can tell that there are four. So what I concluded was that there are four main factors that are considered when calculating a player's salary: accolades, performance, potential, and experience. I feel like this is the closest to what may actually be true, because looking over the player's salary and comparing my past career to and adding it to SSR, and then comparing other, like, it is starting to make sense. It's not the way that player salaries are calculated. I don't think it's mainly analytical. Like, I don't think it's mainly purely based off of statistics or logic. Well, yes, logic, but there's not a lot of numbers that are involved. I think they get a range for a specific type of person and give them either veteran or rookie criteria and see where they fall under. And that's just what I think after doing all of this. So if you have any, like, if you really watch this and you have any questions for me, and you want to like be like, oh, why this and that, or you have like questions about yourself, ask me and I'll try and come up with an answer for you. But yeah, that's my guess on how salaries are calculated.